And we're live. Welcome to the first episode of Podcastaholics. Oscars are coming right around the corner. We wanted to share what we believe are the true award winners during this season, and we gave up our own kind of categories. So to spin it off, Palmer, tell me a little bit about your categories here.
Okay, I got a couple categories written down here that I think really embodies the Podcastaholics Oscar ceremony that we're going to have tonight. I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, about 10, 11 good categories here. We're going to have a good time tonight, guys.
Alright, what?
All right, first, you
Starting
ready for the
off.
first category?
Yeah.
All right, first category is the best picture, obviously. Now, what do
Hmm.
you guys think was the best movie to come out this year? 2015, this is.
Who wants to take
Honestly,
it?
for me, I have limited experience with the movies that came out this year, but I really, really like Star Wars. That was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Frequently, I caught myself distracted by how good the soundtrack was, or just
Hmm.
really blown away from what I thought was excellent cinematography.
I feel like Star Wars is definitely the first thing to start off of if you're gonna talk about the big movies of the year. uh, I don't know. I kind of feel like it was a good movie, but was it a good movie because it was Star Wars, or was it a good movie because, based on the fact it had good, writing, and I can agree with you that the soundtrack for it was definitely great.
I
Yeah.
I think it was a good movie, despite the Star Wars name. I actually don't really care for Star Wars that much, but this was much better.
Hmm.
I enjoyed the grittiness of it. I felt like it was more real. I liked how George Lucas had nothing to do with it. Uh, I just thought it was overall like probably the best Star Wars movie they've made, even though it is kind of a rehashed Episode 4 plot.
That's a pretty bold statement, and I feel like you're gonna catch flack with people who lived that life. The Star Wars mantra.
I think it's a cool universe. The lore is super interesting, and I'll definitely give it that. I like learning about, I guess, the extra characters and storylines that exist that haven't been shown in the movies yet. But the movies just aren't super entertaining. Like, we'll take the first one for example. Actually, no, the first three. I know those aren't considered the better of
Uh,
the saga, but it's a lot of politics, just a lot of bullshit
yeah,
politics. Talk about
who?
trade
Yeah, fuck. I
embargoes.
want to see some fucking lightsaber wars. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the I think the most interesting part of Star Wars, they're one of the most interesting parts, the Jedi, they are not even prevalent in the better of the six movies. Like you kind of see them in the first, second, and third, but then there's a fucking Jedi Holocaust, and they're nowhere to be found.
The Jedi Holocaust.
I feel like if they rewound the any of the movies a good like 100 years or so, that'd be fucking cool. I want to see the Jedi at their full strength, do what Jedi do, and go be space samurai for a while.
Yeah, that'd be cool as shit. Remember when we were in the cafe shisha? Did you ever hear the dude talking about like when Kylo Ren stopped the blue lightning bolt? He was like, "Oh my god, I almost shit my pants." Like, word for word.
Those
The
guys at Cafe Shisha were super interesting. They were just nerding out about all kinds of shit.
is that the squad you said I'd be good in?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude, you could have hung with the best of them in that squad.
I was not someone like a group I'd want to be friends with.
They were just like they were super excited about Stargate. They were talking about Doctor Strange. I think they mentioned Deadpool. Um, they talked about just a lot of comic books in general, and I think they. I'm actually really confident they talked about Game of Thrones. Um,
Probably.
We'd all
But
fit
the
in there.
bouncer like took one of our seats to talk with him too. Like he took it from our table.
You know,
And then he was like, we tried to sit down. He's like, hold on, guys. This table's reserved. And we're like, yeah, reserved from us.
Alright,
But,
what was your answer, Alex?
my answer, we ain't got to that yet. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
so my answer is gonna be one that I don't think a lot of people point out, but it's something that like I say like the best movie is some movie that like sticks with me. Like I keep thinking about it, and I loved It Follows, the horror movie by if I said by, I'm about to look it up. But anyway, the synopsis of it, uh, this girl. It starts out by someone running away from something they can't see, and then they get fucking torn to pieces, and they found them on the beach. And it shows farther and farther along this girl hooking up with this guy. And after they hook up, he's like, "Oh yeah, I gave you something." Well, actually, when he hooks up with her, he like rapes her pretty much. He's like, "Okay, I got you something. It's like an STD." But instead, this walking person follows you, and when they catch you, they like rip you to pieces.
Oh, wow.
And nobody else can see them but you. And so it's such a simple idea, but it was so like that was super clever. Like,
I will admit, I actually saw this. I liked it a lot. I so my roommates that watched it, they were really upset with it. They were just like, "That's it," because with the ending, it's kind of, I mean, nothing spectacular happens.
mm,
Spoiler alert. The protagonist and her new boy toy hold hands and walk off into the distance together, but that thing is right behind them,
yeah, it's
following
right on their ass. And the thing is, like, the thing chases you until it gets you, and it goes like at a moderate walking pace, just enough for you to run away but never get away.
I
yeah,
haven't seen
like
that.
I don't know how it does it, but it will go through rain, sleet, or hail to get you. I was thinking about it. If I was in that particular situation, I'd probably go somewhere in Asia and find a really popular brothel and have sex with one of the girls there, then head back. I figure I mean, if it's kind of stumbling along the earth, it's gonna have to walk through the ocean. I'm hoping at least gravity will slow it down, but if not, that's a solid couple months walk just
You
to get
wait
to a
until the
prostitute.
news and you wait until the news comes out that an entire Indian brothel has been slaughtered, and then you have to find a new one.
What I would probably do is it'd probably take it a few months to get to that prostitute, and then it'd have to go to all the people, all of her customers. I feel like every 5 months or so, if I fly to a different part of the world and have sex with a different prostitute, I really significantly increase my chances of just always sending this thing on a goose chase.
But then you have all that blood on your hands, dude.
I'd be able to live. I'll somehow manage.
I'll manage through all the pussy. I'll manage.
But yeah,
So, what
It
did you
Follows
think
was a
about it,
super.
Farm?
I know. I didn't. I've never seen it. Follow. I'm
Uh,
not super caught up on the whole horror genre.
I like
I
horror because it just makes you like, it pumps your blood pressure, your adrenaline.
See, I prefer creepy movies to horror movies. A lot of horror movies are dumb as hell. It'll be like the orchestra will start to play really slowly or really high pitch or just stop playing at all, and then a cat will run in front of the camera or a bird will
Yeah.
fly in the camera.
Yeah, and then like half of them will be like nothing, and half of them will be like a scary killer face. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's super repetitive. It's the same shit every time.
Just jump scares, but
It
at
Follows,
the
I think,
same
probably
time,
does
like
like one or two jump scares.
the theatrical value of a jump scare isn't great, but at the same time, I still like my dirty pleasure, guilty pleasure. I still like them, even though I know they're coming.
Oh,
There's
dude,
that.
I hate
There's
them.
that one jump scare, and This Is the End. That really that you jumped out of your seat in the theater.
I
Was
where the fucking devil beast like comes through the window.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That scared the shit out of me. That was so crazy.
Dude, I
Mine and
actually
Alex's arm
still.
were like on the armrest, and Alex jumped up and like hit my arm, and it scared me, like sent me into like cardiac arrest.
I like try grabbing people's arms and legs during scary movies. Like when I know the jump scare's coming, I like grab whoever's next to me.
I actually went on a little kick the other day. I was watching YouTube videos, but they were like scary short story films, and the longest one was probably 7 minutes, and the worst one, it was, I'm not gonna say the only jump scare to get me, but I've never been gotten by another jump scare quite this well.
Never been
Uh,
kid.
I think the movie was called Now They're or the film on YouTube was called Now They're Monsters,
Hmm.
and it's a super weird short about like something has invaded the population, and it's killing people, but it's also taking over their figure, like it looks like them, but
Yeah.
it smiles unnaturally wide. So that's kind
Hmm.
of how you can tell something's up. Like the film, it kind of ends with a group of people in a room together, and they're describing like what a weird day they've had because they go to like the gas station, and the attendant has a smile from ear to ear, just serving them, and it's like that for a few people. There's a jump scare in there that is, I mean, it's cheap, but it got me like nothing else. Like I made a sound, I audibly made a sound. Um, it really got my heart pumping. I didn't expect it. It was good though.
Did you whimper afterward?
I needed to pause the film, put on some Marvin Gaye, and hold a pillow and a microfiber blanket for a while to return back to baseline.
You know those games they have, like they have the jump scares at the end,
Yeah, yeah.
where you see all the real and the fake reactions. I know most of them are fake, but I still like the idea of like when people punch through their computer screen or something like that.
That's fantastic. I would like to wish that that is real. Oh, anyway, Palmer, did you say what you thought? Actually, no, I'm still talking about It Follows. Um, yeah, I thought it was super good. Yeah. So what I was getting at earlier is I prefer when a movie is creepy as opposed to scary because scary is like pretty cliche and it's not that scary to me. Creepy I like more when there's like you can feel a tension. It's like something that's just weirding you out. You know you shouldn't be observing whatever you're watching.
Yeah.
I like that a lot more, and It Follows is definitely more creepy than scary in my opinion because like
Hmm.
this thing, it can take the form of anything, so it can blend into a crowd really well. Um, and it's just like a creepy idea. There is one continuity error. I don't know if you'll remember this, but there's a scene when the girl who has it and her friends are pulling out of her house, and
Yeah.
as they're pulling away, the thing is standing on her roof.
Just staring.
Yeah, that was the big issue I had about the movie. I don't know why they bothered to include that.
I definitely
Like
have to check that movie out.
like part of the fear of the thing is that it never stops moving, but it stopped moving to stare at her menacingly through the or from the roof.
Yeah, it never stops moving unless it comes to a door, and then it never stops beating on it if it's in the way. I
Hmm.
mean, it'll like bust through stuff to try to get at you, but it never stops coming at you, is what the thing is.
Oh, okay.
Except for when it climbs up on the roof to stare at you. Yeah, it's a pretty creepy film. I was really impressed. Palmer, did you say what you thought Best Picture was or
I'm.
should be?
I wasn't sure. I was kind of caught between The Martian and The Big Short. But I think what's
uh,
going to do it is because at the end of Martian, one little thing I had with it was when he Iron Man as the little cap.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Nah, yeah, no. I
talking
did
about the
watch a
Big
couple
Short.
videos about like the physics of it, like Matt Damon growing potatoes out of his own shit. Apparently that could work.
Hey, dude, that sounds good. Feels good to me. I don't know if
Uh,
it's like having like adverse
good poopy
effects.
potato.
Poopy potatoes. Mr. Poopy
You
Bell.
guys never had your mama have you ever served you with fried poopy potatoes? That was a family delicacy at my Thanksgiving dinners.
It's like
But
grandmama used to make.
I think the issue I had the most with The Martian is like I never thought Matt Damon wasn't gonna succeed. Like
Oh yeah.
I just there wasn't a I don't know a mystery to it. Like I'm like yeah he's gonna make it back. He's gonna
Yeah.
probably live. I mean if he doesn't, well he just took longer to die than everybody else.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know, like in the end, he's gonna survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna go with the Big Short for me.
That's understandable. Now, can you? I haven't seen The Big Short. I've only
Isn't
read
it
the
relatively
synopsis,
new?
Yeah, it
and
came out in this January, I think. No, it was
It had
December.
to be December.
It was December. Yeah, because it's 2015. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was towards the end of. The end of December. Yeah.
Still pretty fresh.
Mhm.
But can
Mini
you
film.
synopsize it?
yeah,
Well,
the summary I read killed the movie for me. I don't even want to give it a chance. The summary was so bad. So,
okay. So,
what were the highlights?
well, Ryan Gosling's the narrator, and he goes through. He plays a part in the movie, but he's also the narrator, and he always breaks the fourth wall and talks to the audience. But what goes on is it takes place a couple years before the market crash back in like 2008.
Uh-huh. Well, the
Christian
market
Bale.
crash was 2008.
What takes place before that?
Okay.
And it has to do with the housing market. All these people are just like the AAA prime mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
It explains it more in the movie, but they're really just made up of lesser, inferior mortgages that people don't know about. And Christian Bale plays this autistic guy who figures it out and is like, yeah, it's gonna fall soon. So he goes around Wall Street just like betting against the housing market, and everyone's like, what are you doing? Because the housing market's like one of the most stable things to invest in because everyone needs a house. And everyone looks like him like he's retarded, and he kind of is, but he did a
Well,
really
I
good
mean,
job.
he is, but
Yeah,
he's smart. I mean, you can be both.
yeah. But
They're not mutually exclusive. You could be retarded and smart.
hmm And so like Steve Carell goes around, he figures it out because he hears from a guy who heard from a guy that Christian Bell was doing this, and so that he ran the numbers and was like, yeah, why are they doing this? So he went out and found out everything,
Huh.
and then he just invested $1 billion into the market crashing, so he got rich.
I
How do
imagine
you? How do you? Oh, sorry.
the actors really made the movie with Steve
Oh yeah,
Carell, Christian Bale. I mean, how do you go wrong?
yeah, definitely. And it was weird because the director Adam McKay usually does like the comedy movies, like the Step Brothers and the other guys. But this is like a serious like biography kind of movie, which is really cool.
Hmm.
It was really good.
So, how do
It was
you?
really funny, but it was also really serious.
That's
There's a good
right.
mixture there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
How do you bet that the market, like, what do you bet on, or how do you move your stocks around to benefit yourself that the market's going to crash?
It didn't go into that, but they called it shorting the stock market.
Hmm.
That's what the short is, and it was really big short because it made them billions of dollars.
I never really understood the market for housing. It never really made much sense to me. I think it's one of those things where you have to take a class on it just to understand it.
hmm
Probably,
It's
most
one of those
likely.
things you're supposed to know, but they never teach you. It's kind of a weird thing. You know, you figure they teach you something about it in high school or have a required class, but it's not really in there. So,
There's a lot of stuff they didn't teach us in high school that I wish they did. All right. Next category.
sure.
All right, we're gonna do a 180 here and go with worst picture.
Ooh,
Worst
worst
film.
picture. The worst thing I saw in 2015. Let me think here.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Gotta go hard.
If you have one like already like thought out,
I think I do. Yeah.
okay.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
yeah.
go for it. You're going to have to fill air while I do some thinking.
Okay. I saw. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The Ridiculous Six.
Ridiculous Six. I was thinking
yeah,
that too.
that's a good one.
Yeah. It was really disappointing because I was really looking forward to this being one of Adam Sandler's comeback films, but
Dude,
it
he's
was
never
just
coming
not.
back.
There, yeah, I think if he makes a comeback, he's gonna be like one of those when he comes back when he's like 75 years old, and they're like Adam Sandler, do one more movie before you retire.
God, I
And
hope
he's
he
just,
does.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good one. The Ridiculous Six, I feel like was trash. I didn't even want to give it a
but
chance.
did
It
you
looked
expect it
so
to
dumb.
not be trash when you started out? Like,
I expected it to be trash when I saw the poster.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise. It was just awful.
I mean, I think Adam Sandler goes with it he just like gets a few dudes together and they write a script in a few hours. And they're like, all right, how much money do we have? And they're like, well, I think we got $3,000 on me. And then eventually they make a movie and they just put it out and reap whatever benefits they have.
Yeah.
So they can essentially do this like 4 times a year. I haven't even seen Pixels, but like just by the
Oh yeah, Pixels look like
trailer,
ass.
just by the trailer, I would deem it the worst movie I've ever seen.
I thought the trailer for Pixels actually like caught my attention. Like I actually
You
wanted to
make
see it.
me sick.
I thought that was gonna be his comeback film too.
Oh my god. Why?
Dude, I used to love Adam Sandler back in the golden days, dude.
That blows my mind that you thought Pixels was gonna revitalize
It
his
was an
career.
interesting like concept for a film.
It's an interesting idea, but Jesus, there's just no way that I would have ended well.
Yeah, that's true.
Adam Sandler
But
has to get high, dude. Like, what if video games change your life? But how would that work, Adam? But they're aliens. It makes total sense.
Actually, I don't know if it was. It might. Yeah, okay, it's gotta be the Ridiculous Six. Fantastic Four was really bad too.
yeah, I was actually about to bring up Fantastic Four. I never watched it, but I saw the internet tear it to shreds. I feel like I sat through that terrible flick as well. But following your Netflix line of thinking, I just remembered. Have you guys graced yourselves with The Cobbler?
No, I don't think
I've
I
seen
have.
half of it.
You haven't seen The Cobbler? Okay,
No.
so here's the situation. It's another Adam Sandler movie. But
Okay, alright, I think I got it now. I pretty much understand.
no, dude, here's the plot.
It's not.
So
Okay, wait, I'm sorry.
he's a cobbler, like someone that makes shoes, but he finds this ancient cobble machine, and he figures out that when he repairs someone's shoes with that machine and he puts them on, he looks like that person to everyone else in the outside world. So it's mostly him wearing other people's shoes, pretending to be them, and just going out and
Coblin.
cobbling, yeah, affecting their lives in various ways.
Oh my gosh.
That's the name they give them, cobblers?
Yeah, dude, they cobble.
I thought this movie was going to be about a delicious warm dessert.
You were woefully mistaken.
Alright, what? Alright, so what was your answer, Kurt?
I think
Cobbler?
I bet you guys no. I bet you guys didn't see this. Did you hear about Unfinished Business?
Unfinished business.
I forgot I watched this one too.
Was it bad?
It's not great. It has God, I can't remember the kid. Zac Efron maybe.
Yeah.
It has Vince Vaughn in it, and he has to travel to Germany to I can't even remember the reason. He has to stay in Germany for work, but it's like a vacation buddy comedy movie. But hold on, let me look this up real quick.
It's got Vince Vaughn and Dave Franco. How is it not good?
There it is. Yeah, Dave Franco. That's who it is. Dave Franco plays this literally retarded person, and it's mostly.
He's literally retarded.
Yeah, dude, it's that one where in the trailer, I think he's standing there with blindfolded in a bar, and someone throws a dart and it sticks into his chest, and he's like, "Go on, dude, throw it."
Yeah.
That's the movie.
So what about it? What were you getting at?
Oh, it just wasn't a good movie. I mean,
Okay, that sums it up.
it had a couple funny jokes with Dave Franco, but I don't know. I guess I just really don't like Vince Vaughn anymore. But he kind of
Those
killed it.
actors that you see, you just don't like the movie.
I think that's it. Like,
I think The
I feel
Rock is
like
for me that I don't like The Rock in any movie. I
that's
do not smell
interesting.
what he's cooking.
So, like, at least what I've noticed with Vince Vaughn, every single one of his movies, he plays some guy that's shitty in one way or another, and then at the end of the film, he's not shitty anymore. This was another movie where he was just like a shit dad. Like his fat son is getting cyberbullied, and people are really just really laying into him. And Vince is like, "Shut up, Timmy! I gotta do work." And the kid like silently weeps as Facebook calls him a fag. And I mean, yeah, it's just like every other one of Vince Vaughn's movies.
Kind of like Steve Buscemi's movies. Everyone he plays like an ugly, creepy guy, but he ends up being alright in the end, or he ends up dying.
Isn't he
That's
in all of
funny.
like Adam Sandler's movies?
I think they're buddies with him and
Dude, Adam
who's
Sandler has like all of his
who's the
buddies
You
in
Can
every
Do
single one
It
of his
guy?
movies.
You know, you can do it.
Shia
Rob
LaBeouf,
Schneider.
dude.
Oh yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, that's him.
That's Kirk's spirit animal.
Unpopular opinion. I love Shia LaBeouf.
How do you guys not? He's so cool.
He's kind of crazy now. I think he lost his beans.
Yeah, remember he did that 3-day movie marathon where he watched his movies and streamed him, watched them.
Yeah, it was a movie about him watching his movies.
Dude, I love him so much. He's such a good actor.
I thought Steve Buscemi was, I believe, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, David Kocher. That dude, like, he plays a dick in every movie he's in. Like, except for Larry the Cable Guy Health Inspector, he plays a mentally retarded guy.
Who is he?
He's, okay, he plays a retarded guy in Larry the Cable Guy Health Inspector. He plays Packer in The Office. He is,
David
he's,
Koechner.
he's from Anchorman. He's the
Oh,
sports
okay.
guy.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
Whammy. That guy. Alright, Alex, what was your answer for worst movie?
Oh, yeah, my answers. So, I feel like those numerous list of movies that were so bad, you know, this is kind of hard category because I don't watch movies that are going to be, you know, I expect to be awful, like, I don't know, The Fantastic Four, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, I heard The Hot Tub Time Machine was awful. I
Oh,
heard,
yeah. I forgot Hot Tub Time. Well, was this the second one or the third one?
shit. The second one. The first one was alright.
Yeah, I think I heard that the second Hot Tub Time Machine was ass.
I had one a minute ago, but I forgot about it talking about that shitty movie. What was it? What was yours, Kirk?
Unfinished Business.
Yeah, Unfinished Business. I can't fucking think about mine now. I forgot it. You have to come back to me.
Alright, so next category.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
skip
yeah.
it.
Alright, best actor.
Bradley Russell. His hair is so dreamy.
In what?
Just
I don't
in
know,
his
just
film.
Bradley Russell. As
Just
long as he's
him.
on the screen, he's the best actor as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and start this off with the obvious choice here of the Revenant with what's his name? I'm blanking.
Leo.
DiCaprio, Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Really?
Uh, I felt like he did a really good job having to grunt and squint his face for literally 3/4 of the movie. His dialogue was just grunting. But it was really convincing grunting. I felt like I was in pain as well as he was. I feel like he was the only one that could have pulled that off. I really felt like I had seen my half Indian boy be slaughtered in front of me with his teeth grimaced grunts. So that is going to be my pick. Leonardo, Best Actor, 2015.
I know it's pretty controversial.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first, the guy I was talking about earlier, Bradley Cooper. That's who I'm thinking of. He's
I was
the
about to say,
dream mode.
I looked up Bradley Russell. I could not find anything.
Yeah, I'm staring at him now.
He's
My
also
screen is.
cute.
Dude, he's so dreamy, his hair. But this is pretty controversial, but I think I'm gonna go with Adam Sandler in Pixels, The Cobbler, and The Ridiculous Six. I felt his performance was equally 100% in all three of his films.
I would vote Adam Sandler as the most diligent actor. The most he doesn't get turned down. Discouraged, least discouraged actor of 2015, Adam Sandler.
There you go.
Imagine the shit blows he has to take, and he just keeps on rolling, man. Like he's doing 100%.
That's true. That's a good point.
He's got like pumping shitty movies out to a science.
How eloquently put.
What was yours, Palmer? Your best actor?
I want to go a similar route as Alex did for The Revenant, but I want to say Tom Hardy in The Revenant.
Oh, okay.
I really like him. He was such a good bad guy. He's probably the best. I didn't really care for the Leo scenes, but all of his scenes were.
They were top tier.
Yeah. When he got rid of that minority, that was great.
Oh yeah, that was really good. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of best actor.
Whoa.
Wait, what are you gonna say, Kirk?
Oh, so yeah. I was gonna give my actual answer, and I think I'm gonna have. Yeah, surprisingly not Adam Sandler. I think I'm gonna go with Sammy Jackson in The Hateful Eight.
That's a good one.
Oh yes.
I really just like the intensity of his acting and his dialogue throughout the whole movie.
Yes.
I love that fucking. See, this is Sweet Dave's chair. I love that whole interaction he has with the old racist.
Yeah, that was really good. I love like Samuel Jackson's like emotion and like range during that movie. Like he had like the dark scenes where he had to talk about that like that dude's son sucking his dick until he blew his brains out. And then the other part where he's like talking about Dave's chair.
He had such a dark part in that movie.
Yeah, that was ice cold, but I mean he did get shot in the testicles, so I say it kind of equals out.
I love the way they beat the shit out of that like the woman, the murderer. Like you know how they've got her chained up the whole movie, and they're always like whooping like beating the shit out of her when she talks.
Yeah, dude, the hangman, he threw her an elbow when she got out of line.
The hangman got you. You gonna hang.
Alright, next category?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Alright. Worst actor, 2015.
Ooh.
Where do I begin? We got Adam Sandler in The Cobbler, Pixels.
I don't want to be a dead horse here.
We got Vince Vaughn in Unfinished Business. Who else did an awful job?
I don't know who I'm picking.
I gotta pull up a list here. I have nothing to base off on. I don't like put the worst actors into my thought process. Usually I just forget them.
I do too. I'm going through thinking of like who I saw with what. Was there someone that was particularly weak in Avengers?
The
Yeah.
Hulk. Who played him?
Not enough smashing.
Not enough smashing, 7 out of 10.
I want to say Ultron himself was a really weak character.
Ah, dude, Ultron was so cool.
Dude, he was
Vision was even cool.
He was like a Tony Stark villain. I didn't like him at all. I thought it was gonna be a lot darker than it was.
Worst, would you say worst actor? I'm gonna change it to worst director. Michael Bay in Transformers: Age of Extinction.
That wasn't this year, I don't think.
Was it? I thought it was 2015, like early 2015.
I think that was 2014.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it was 2015. Anyway, that was the worst. I had to use Mind Bleach after that. It was so bad.
Bro, you didn't like Transformers, dude?
Why did you go in?
Robot Transformers from prehistoric times. Like, what? Who thought of that?
Why did you go into another Transformers movie thinking it was gonna be good?
I don't know, dude. I'm just like, I guess
An
it's
optimist,
insanity
I guess.
doing the same thing and knowing the result. Why
So
do
are
you
you
keep
gonna see
seeing the
Michael-
Adam Sandler movies?
I haven't seen any of them. I just know to stay away.
I still watch the old ones. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison.
So are you
Anger
gonna see Michael Bay's
Management.
new film, Benghazi?
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was pretty good.
I was listening to it on NPR today, and apparently, like, people are expecting some political shockwaves from that film.
What is it?
The Michael Bay's new movie coming out, Benghazi. Or 13
okay.
Hours. I forget what it's called, but it's about Benghazi.
Yeah, about Benghazi.
Everyone on from what I read on Reddit, everyone seems to like it. Surprisingly,
Huh. Wait, is it already out?
yeah, it's in theaters.
Oh.
Huh. How long is it? Isn't it like a decent length?
I don't know.
I have no idea. If I had to guess, probably.
Oh no, that was the
Probably like.
Never mind. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Okay, I thought somebody said it was like 8 hours long or something crazy.
It's
2 hours and 24 minutes into.
It's actually 13 hours long.
Wait, so is it called Benghazi or is it called 13 Hours?
13 hours,
hours.
The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. It's got a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I feel like Rotten Tomatoes doesn't give out anything higher than like an 80.
It's their rating system. I don't quite understand it. I trust it more than others just because it's a little bit more critiqued. It's not as quite as generous as other scales.
Yeah, I feel like IMDb is very generous.
But sometimes I see that Kung Fu Panda 3 made it 83%.
Jesus.
And The Revenant was at 82%. I mean, how do you judge what this and that?
I mean, to be fair, I also think Kung Fu Panda 3 is going to be better than The Revenant. But I'm willing to admit I'm probably in the minority.
I've never seen any of them, so I guess
Dude,
I'm
they're so
blindly
good.
hating. I'm blindly hating Jack Black's Kung Fu Panda. I'm sorry, Jack Black.
Dude, it's so good. You're missing out. Every film is better than the last. The TV show was a treasure.
You know they're doing a School of Rock remake with Drake Bell, live.
That's interesting.
Is he gonna be the teacher?
Yeah, he's gonna be the teacher.
Is he gonna be like Jack Black's part?
He's gonna do what?
Jack Black's part.
As the teacher, yes, most likely.
Wasn't Miranda Cosgrove in that movie?
Yeah,
Megan. She was.
Dude,
Megan better come back.
Megan!
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
For my worst actor, I want to go ahead and say Toby Cabell. That was awful. I did not like him at all.
Toby Cabell. And what?
And in Fantastic Four, he played Dr. Doom.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with Mark Wahlberg in Daddy's Home, the worst movie I've seen in 2015, and the worst actor.
Dude, Will Ferrell was in that movie. There's no way it was bad.
He made it so much better, but Mark Wahlberg was just awful.
Was that movie really bad? I had
I didn't
subtitles
like it
for
at all. I didn't like it.
Dude, that's so disappointing to hear. I love Marky Mark. He's a treasure and everything.
I love Will Ferrell. I do. But I just couldn't overlook it.
So, like,
Marky Mark let us down.
can you expound upon that? Like, why you thought Mark
It
Wahlberg
was so,
bad? Like, was it his
the
fault or
film
was it
in
his character's
general,
fault?
it was both. The film in general, was the biggest cliche that's been done 1,000 times. Like, the stepdad's there, he supports the family, the real dad comes back, drifts through, and he tries to win him back. Like, that's been done 1,000,000,000 times. And so Mark Wahlberg's playing the real bum dad.
Mm.
And he's just, I mean, that's his acting. I mean, that's his role, the bum dad who comes back through. I mean, in the end of the movie, he just they've been arguing back and forth. And he's like, oh, I give up. Like that's how the argument goes.
That's funny.
Oh god, that's depressing. I was really looking forward to seeing that movie.
Oh, dude, we can totes watch it together. I'm still gonna see it. I don't know when, but I'm still gonna see it. I'll be damned if I don't. I'll be damned if I don't see all of Will Ferrell's movies before he dies.
That'd be a sad day, dude.
Was Get Hard this year, or was that was Get Hard 2015?
I think it was 2015.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I thought Get Hard was. I thought it was pretty funny. Not his best, but.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I think Will Ferrell's the only person who can do those movies well, though.
I think
he
so,
can
too.
do the goofy white guy in the black hood better than anybody.
Yeah, definitely.
That's absolutely true. I can't explain it, but he just has a way with his emotions. When he's got to in Derek Zoolander, when God, I can't remember his name, like Chad something in Blades of Glory. He's just fantastic.
Chad
Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights.
Another good one when he's Jackie Moon and God damn it, what was that called?
Semi-Pro?
Yeah, Semi-Pro, thank you.
And me and Jeremy were talking the other day, and we were talking about how there needs to be a Talladega Nights 2 about his son, either Walker or Texas Ranger, and they do off-road racing, ice racing. That'd be cool as shit.
That would be great. They do need to make a Talladega Nights sequel. I'm really glad they're making a Zoolander sequel.
I feel like they're remaking a lot of sequels from movies that are really old.
Yeah, Hollywood just ran out of ideas, so they were like, let's do it again.
They had Dumb and Dumber 2 come out. That movie's like 20 years old when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I love the setup for Dumb and Dumber 2 when he walks in and he's at the hospital trying to pick up his friend. He's like, I know you haven't spoken in years, but I'm here to tell you I'm sorry. He's like, gotcha, it was all a joke. You've been faking paralysis for... I can't remember how long it was. It's 10 years. And it was all a joke. Yeah. That was a good one, bro.
That's funny. I never saw Dumb and Dumber. I thought Dumb and Dumber 2 was Dumb and Dumber. Was this one called Dumb and Dumber 2?
This was Dumb and Dumber TOO.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They had a prequel come out 10 years ago.
It was when they were younger.
Yeah.
They were in the autism, the special classes in school, and they hang out with all those guys.
So the principal could embezzle money. And the lunch lady was their teacher. All right, next category.
Yeah.
All right,
Hit me with it.
most annoying character.
I don't know about this last year, but the most annoying character in media I can remember, who's just going to be my prime example of who I'm looking for in most annoying character. What's his Walter's wife in Breaking Bad? What's her name?
Skylar.
Skylar. Skylar is my most hated character ever.
I can agree with that.
So if you want to base that off, I'll base it off of like somebody like that in 2015. But Skylar is the benchmark in annoying characters for me.
Yeah, she was pretty awful. Those episodes based around her were the worst.
It's just someone who can just nag and then do something so stupid. And then I know there's a lot of opinions on whether she was right or wrong, but that's besides the point of how annoying she was.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I got two that I haven't seen a ton of movies this year, so I'm pushing the really going to the limit with annoying quote unquote with these characters. But
Mhm.
I think I'd have to say either Black Widow from the Avengers. Not so much like Scarlett Johansson not portraying her well or anything, but the character itself. Like I thought the whole love, not so much triangle, but that forbidden love story that her and Banner had going on. I
The
really
love
didn't like
triangle between her, Bruce Banner, and the Hulk. Yeah.
that. I just didn't like it. Did not do it for me. I thought it was super annoying. I thought it pulled away from the momentum of the film. I thought it was something the directors just threw in there for like a cheap attention grab at all this like romance that everyone seems to be fawning all over. It would either be her or Kylo from Star Wars. Now,
Kylo Ren, really?
now that's what I mean. So I'm kind of pushing what I mean by annoying.
Mhm.
Um, I wouldn't so much call him annoying, but I have gripes with his character, even though I understand the necessity of it.
Mhm.
With his character acting like a child,
Yeah. Okay.
and I personally don't like the representation Abrams chose to go with for Kylo. I think they chose a very unfearful villain. Maybe that was deliberate.
I think
Like,
that was the idea that there. I think that the supposed idea that it's going to be a progression of his transformation into the final movie where he's transformed into somebody else,
hopefully.
essentially.
Like, I know, I'm sure him acting like a little bitch the entire movie, that was just the movie showing us like, yeah, he's a child, and in the
Mhm.
next one he's gonna grow.
Mhm.
But I didn't like. I thought it was really idiotic that some like I don't know 23-year-old when something wouldn't go his way, he would just start swiping at computers with a lightsaber.
I mean,
Uh,
he had a big army task with him. It was a big idea. I mean,
I
a lot
mean,
on him.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
understandable, but I don't know if I'd take a lightsaber to computers like because something didn't go my way. But again, I understand why it's necessary for him to be acting like that. So, I mean, I'd definitely give it more to Black Widow, but he would also be in the running.
Okay,
Uh,
fair enough. Alright.
what is yours, Palmer? Did you say
Mine?
yours?
No, I
I don't
haven't
think
yet.
so.
Mine would be a tie between Steve Zane and Ridiculous Six. Who's like
Who
the
did he
store
play?
owner. What?
Who did he play in that?
Playing what?
In Ridiculous Six.
Oh, yeah, he played in that, yeah.
No,
Sorry,
who did he play?
who did he play? I'm sorry. He played like a store owner in the beginning that joined in with like the group of outlaws that only had one eye. That whole gang was annoying. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. A tie between them and the Commander Lewis on The Martian.
Hmm.
Like the whole commander of their little astronaut brigade. I did not like her at all. Who played that part anyway? Jessica Chastain. I did not think she was very well fit for that part.
I don't think I've ever heard of her.
She's really hot redhead though.
Oh,
I'm
well,
still
we-
looking for like a shitty movie I've seen.
Alright,
Well, I
well,
mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad movie to have a character you
That's
don't
true.
like.
yeah, just any character that's annoying.
Any character that's annoying.
I feel like there aren't a lot of annoying characters in movies. Like,
I think the goal is to make them likable.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. But I feel like in most movies, like if I had to sit down and make a list of every annoying character in a movie, I could probably get like 3 or 4 deep before I would just run out. I feel like there's not a lot of annoying characters in movies.
Yeah, really. I feel you.
I mean, except for like kids' movies where the villain is like super theatrical and douchey. But besides that, I feel like there aren't a lot of annoying.
Like annoying as in like, what's the bald-headed dude in the Smurfs who hates the Smurfs for like no reason? That dude's annoying. Papa, Papa Smurf. That's not him, but
The evil squirrel wizard.
yeah, the wizard. He's got like a bald spot. I guess he's mad because it makes him feel bad about himself. And so his idea is just to destroy all the Smurfs.
Nah, dude. Smurfs turn to gold if you like kill them or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was either after their bodies because they like turn into a valuable resource, or he was after something that they grew and protected. He had a monetary objective, but I don't really remember how he was gonna come about bringing it.
Did they ever die in the cartoon? I feel like it was really dark for the kids show.
No, like he tried. Like he would have little contraptions with a mallet, but nothing ever worked.
He was the Wile E. Coyote of the Smurfs.
I think I figured out my most annoying character in 2015. It's going to be the entire Minion race. Basically every Minion voice. I hate. I'm really drawn on the Minion thing. I feel like it should end pretty soon, but I don't.
I feel like
I guess
it's
I
already
liked
ending.
Minions when I was 10 years ago, but
I could see that. They're really annoying.
I don't know if it came out this year, but I think I saw the new Minion movie.
It did.
It wasn't fantastic. I mean, it was how you'd expect the Minion movie to go. Just them bumbling about, accidentally advancing their position and not dying somehow.
It makes sense.
I think I'm gonna go back on my answer for worst actor in 2015 and put Owen Wilson in No Escape. I don't know if you guys seen that. It's when he's in like this, I forget what country it is, but he's working as an engineer to build this dam for a company, but their locals hate him and they riot and they try to kill everybody in his hotel. And so it's up to Owen Wilson to rescue his family. And it's the most cheesy, dramatic moments, and like, you know how there's like moments where they flip back and forth between the character trying to get away and the people chasing them, and like, but they're only 20 feet apart from each other. They would be like 20 feet apart from each other for 5 solid minutes of TV. Like, it would take him an hour just to get down the street. And Owen Wilson's just talking with this like his annoying, snappy brat of a girl who just wants to like die with the family, I guess, like jumping out and being oblivious. It was just an awful movie.
I don't know, dude. I can't believe that Owen Wilson gave a bad performance.
What?
He's so consistently strong. I feel like that isn't a legitimate grievance that you have.
I wish Owen Wilson, Adam Sandler, Kevin Spacey. Oh wait,
Not Kevin Spacey.
Am I just making a grown-ups movie here, cast or?
Kevin Spacey, really?
Yeah, dude.
You don't like Kevin Spacey?
Oh, not Kevin Spacey. I'm thinking about Kevin James.
Oh, okay.
Kevin James. I thought you meant when you said Kevin Spacey. I thought you meant David Spade, the guy from fucking
David
Grown
Spade
Ups,
too.
Yeah.
Bench Warmers. Dude, he's so good though.
When you said Kevin Spacey, I was like, from House of Cards, really?
No, like Kevin Spacey.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was completely confused. Anyway, Palmer, do you have another one?
Yeah. No, okay. We've only been through half of them. All right. Best camera work
Best
or
camera.
best cinematography.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I know this one off the top of my head, and I'm gonna go Hateful Eight.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know what they special recorded with. Isn't it like 80 millimeter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
80
70.
millimeter film.
I think that was a big deal. I don't know what the significance of the cinematography of the size of the film is, but I know it looked nice, and I liked how it was shot very much like, in my mind, a play. I thought it was very unique, and it was just different than the commonplace. How it was a still camera shot, but there was long scenes of just intimate, like intimate staring, kind of like, when you go back to Star Wars, how they just stared at each other for long scenes, but there was no intimacy in it. Like there was like real emotion in these like stare downs, and I just like the way the camera smoothly operated around the place, how the angles were just different, but a different view where you could see it like you were, like how the director really wanted you to. Like, they were very well thought out.
I can agree to that. I immediately narrowed it down to two choices, Hateful Eight being one of them. I completely forgot about about how it's shot like a play. But I think what I liked just a bit more than that was the landscapes and environments of Star Wars.
Hmm.
Like that scene where I don't know, the speeder car, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is driving across the desert, and that big ass galactic cruiser is in the background right behind them.
Mhm.
I just thought that kind of stuff was super cool. I really liked the scale of the movie. I liked the way it was shot. I thought it looked very, very crisp, very good. Um, it looked gritty when it had to. Like the war scenes, they look like something. They look similar to. Well, I don't want to say Saving Private Ryan, but they look like a gritty war movie fight was going on.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
It's definitely grittied up to some extent from definitely the other movies.
The other movies, like fights, just felt very clean.
Mhm.
Blasters didn't look like they had a lot of impact. They just kind of left a burn mark, and that person
You
fell
basically
over.
like sneezed them away.
But in this movie, like, you didn't even have to get hit with a blaster to go fucking flying. Like, I think one of the cannons on one of the X-Wings hits the ground, and in between, like, three stormtroopers, and they all just get sent in different directions from the impact.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just, it was more real, more dangerous. Um, there was more at stake. It was just a grittier interpretation of a space battle. I really like it.
Mhm.
Especially like when they like did the new Death Star and it took out like that whole solar system.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that looks super super cool.
That was
I wish it
cool.
would have like panned on the people in the like
Yeah.
galaxy just being obliterated, Oh, what's that light? And then they're just wiped away.
The
That's
director
right.
better have an additional 60 minutes of just different towns and cities being destroyed by that world-encompassing laser.
And then Mad World's playing in the background.
All right, mine. I would narrow it down to either Mad Max or The Revenant.
Oh yeah, Mad Max. We hadn't even talked about that.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Mad Max.
Yeah, really, like how Mad Max incorporated like mostly practical effects, but then there was like 20% CGI, but you couldn't even tell because it was so good. But in The Revenant, the director, the Alejandro Inarritu, whatever his name is,
Hmm.
his like shots with the camera, like he did Birdman, and Birdman was like all like just three takes
Mhm.
with the camera. I think we talked about it the other day. And with The Revenant, like the first scene, they had There's obvious cutscenes in this one, but like the first scene was like just a 7 minute long camera pan, which is really cool. And like the bear scene was all one take. It was all really good. Like he did it
Yeah,
without cutscenes. I
yeah.
don't know if you've ever seen it yet. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm trying not to spoil it for
I've
you.
seen I've seen online like basically synopsis for it though.
Uh, yeah,
So
like all
I
the
haven't
scenes are
seen the
like really long.
cinematography for it, the thing we're talking about, but I got the idea. I mean,
Right.
in Hateful Eight, I think the beginning starts off with just like a pan out from like this huge zoom, and this just pan out for like 5 minutes, like, and it so slowly grows from this one guy on a cross to like this whole like landscape.
Yeah, that was a really cool one. I remember that.
Well, one thing I actually just remembered about Mad Max, I haven't seen it, but I remember I was watching this video about, it was some kind of trick the director did that is kind of rare in movies apparently, but I think it's called the line of sight or the line of action,
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
and
I know what you're
it's
talking
where
about.
your eyes are naturally drawn to on the screen, and apparently Mad Max, to help with like the sense of scale in the movie and to help engage you in the movie, there's a lot of transitions from one side of the screen to the other, but like using that line of action. So they'll have something interesting be happening on the right, and they'll transition that interesting thing through a chain of other interesting things all the way to the left and then back to the right to get you to look at the entire screen, but in a natural way. A lot of people were praising the film's use of that, even though I forget
hmm
what it's called.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I really like that too.
Yeah, definitely like what you're talking about with directors using, like visual effects to get you to look at one thing instead of another thing, and like adding scale and size to things. It's definitely interesting how you perceive scale from different angles in the movies, in the different effects. Um, I think we've been learning about this in like art class about just having scale to cinematography really makes it important.
That's interesting. I know. I wish I haven't seen it yet, but I'm definitely going to soon. Did you guys see Crimson Peak?
No, I don't think I have.
Is it the Benicio del Toro horror film? Was that it?
Yeah, I believe so.
No, I didn't see
Um,
it, but I want to.
so that film, it was kind of made as an homage to another like 1940s. I want to say he was a 1940s Italian, I believe Italian horror director. And what was special about this guy is he would use a lot of weird camera angles and a lot of color to show what was going on in the movie. So if like a character, something just happened and a character got super envious, then like a literal green tint, green for envy, would go over the film. Or if like a person was so angry they were about to murder someone, like you would see red lighting from different areas like in the shot just
Yeah.
appear as, and it gets like more and more intense as the person goes to commit the murder. The guy that made Crimson Peak, he was kind of making it as an homage to that guy, and he would in the movie he uses a lot of big color to kind of symbolize what's going on in the
What the
film.
emotion is.
Yeah, and he would also use color very contrastingly. So like I think it takes place in this big ass house, which is almost 100% black from the outside, but he has it like snowing very heavily on the outside, so you get that like nice contrast of black and white.
Hmm.
And the character will usually be wearing some kind of dress that's very predominantly one color, and the environment will be something completely different. It seems like a
Like
really interesting,
competing psychedelic, kind of giving that vibe.
a little bit, but without as much color. Just like it would only stick to one or two colors. It wouldn't overfill something. But it seems super interesting, and I really want to see it.
All right, cool.
Did you give
All right,
yours, Palmer? But it wasn't.
yeah, that's it. I think I went with the Revenant.
Okay, yeah.
All right, next category. Did you give yours, Alex?
Yeah, I think I said Hateful Eight when
Hateful
we
Eight.
started it, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Alrighty. Next category. Best antagonist.
Ooh.
I want to go ahead and say I thought Kylo Ren was
The best antagonist, really?
I liked him for the first part of the film.
For an antagonist?
Yeah.
He really didn't make me quiver in my boots once he took his helmet off.
Once he took his helmet off, obviously. For the first half, when the helmet on was good.
I'm gonna say Forces of Nature in Matt Damon's The Martian.
I can't believe how racist you guys are being. The
The
best
police is
antagonist.
straight out of Compton.
The police is straight out of Compton. But the police.
Amen. Fuck 'em.
But, I mean, not so much the police, but the white imperialist system as a whole. Those guys really struggled with the police, with the record deals, with getting money. It seemed like really the whole world was out to get them. White America is the antagonist of that movie.
Aren't they the antagonist of life?
I think it would either definitely be White America from Straight Outta Compton, or I was debating about I forget their name, but the McGullen gang from Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Dude, I love those guys. Like they had like English Pete. Like they had such
The
a cool
best
band.
crew. How do they find that many interesting folks in one gang?
That's how you get a part of that high level gang. You got to be interesting and you got to be a little bad.
You gotta have a cool trait, a cool little MO.
You gotta have a party favor, a gang religion.
Alright, next category?
Yeah.
Alright. Best protagonist. So this one was a little bit more difficult because I wanted to say Kurt Russell in The Hateful Eight, but he didn't last that as long as I thought he was going to.
Yeah, he didn't last the whole movie. Does that make him not a main character?
I guess, I don't know.
Who the fuck is Kurt Russell? Hold on, let me
He
look.
was
It's
the
the
hangman.
Hangman.
Oh, he's the Hangman?
Yeah.
I felt like Kurt Russell was like a 30-something-year-old.
Nah, he's old. It's like probably like 40s, 50s.
Damn, yeah, whew. He's 64. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Samuel L. Jackson.
He was definitely good. I really liked Finn and Rey in Star Wars again.
You say Finn?
Yeah, isn't that his name, Finn?
Yeah.
Finn. I'm sorry, I didn't know what you said.
Yeah, Finn and Rey from Star Wars. BB-8 from Star Wars. Hard to combat him as a main character.
That's true.
Ice Cube from Straight Outta Compton, or should I say Ice Cube's son. Incredibly strong performance. I really enjoyed it.
Adam
But
Sandler
the
from
police out of 10 would watch again.
I never got to see Straight Outta Compton. Kurt, can you summarize it for me?
Oh, dude, I really recommend it. It's so good. So Straight Outta Compton, it essentially follows the creation and rise of the rap group NWA, Niggas with Attitude. It kind of shows the beginning stories of mostly like Ice Cube, Dre, Eazy-E. I can't remember who else, but later in the film, when like the guys start to get bigger and more popular, you see Suge Knight, Tupac, Snoop. I think those are the main big ones. I can't really remember who else. I think NWA has like 5 or 6 members in it in total, but like 2 or 3 of them just barely get any screen time. They're mostly just there They're mostly just there. Like I don't know why
the other two.
The movie really focuses on Eazy-E, who died in '95, I believe.
Cancer. Or no, he had
AIDS.
AIDS. Yeah, he had AIDS.
It was a great line. He's really fucked up, and he's at the hospital, and his wife is like, "What is it, doctor? Pneumonia, respiratory infection, what?" And the doctor was like, "All of those and more. He's contracted HIV." Easy goes, "But doc ain't no faggot." He was like, you don't have to be gay to get AIDS nowadays, Easy
And then he rapped. Freestyle right there.
But yeah,
Uh,
it mainly focused on Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dre, which apparently I just found this out. Dre has like a pretty severe history of woman beating that they conveniently left out of the movie. Uh,
Hmm.
but it's still a great movie. Like when they're about to go on tour, Eazy-E brings or Easy, my bad.
That's easy, isn't it?
It is. I think it is. I think it is. He
it's
brings a
easy.
duffel.
It is.
Okay, good. He brings a duffel bag full of assault weapons on the tour bus, and his manager's like, "Yeah, dude, what the fuck? You can't bring these." And he's like, you know what? You don't worry about what I bring. I won't worry about what you bring. And they're having this party at a hotel room, and some dudes show up, and I think they only have a pistol, and they're looking for Felicia. And as soon as they knock on the door and E sees that they're strapping, he closes the door in their face. He runs, he grabs his duffel bag, he hands out assault rifles to everyone. They come out the other end of the hallway and they start chasing the other guys down the hall, waving around combat shotguns, AR-16s, just like heavy caliber weaponry. And then they figure out who Felicia is, and Ice Cube grabs her by the face and pushes her out of the room, saying, "Bye, Felicia." Uh, I think that's where that came from, actually.
So I figured out my choice for the best protagonist. I'm going with Nightcrawler and what's his name? Jake
Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
I love
Oh,
Jake
that's such a good movie.
Gyllenhaal's
I forgot about
performance
that
in
movie.
that movie. I loved Nightcrawler too. So if you haven't
Yeah,
seen
that's a good
Nightcrawler,
movie.
Jake Gyllenhaal is this obsessed. He wants to be productive and rich, but he can't figure out how, so he's just stealing stuff right now. And he's got this weird, like, psycho vibe to him, and he's got, like, I guess you call it, he has schizophrenia of some sort. And he's basically figuring out how to get into the news business because he sees this like wreck or something. He can sell footage, so he's filming like graphic footage and selling it to the news. And eventually the footage slows down, so he decides he's gonna make his own graphic. And so he sacrifices this intern he's been like ripping off and training and like coaxing. He's like, "Yeah, you're a partner now." And he gets him into the final shot, and he looks and he's like, "Yeah, look in there and film this dude who's been running away from the cops." And the dude in the car just blows away his intern with a gun. Spoiler
Damn.
alert. And after the dude runs off, Jake Gyllenhaal walks over to him and like closes the camera on his face and like is recording him dying. It's really dark, but like Jake Gyllenhaal did such a good performance. He's the best protagonist in my mind.
I
So
completely forgot about that movie.
did Gyllenhaal like orchestrate that the intern would be executed?
Yeah, he knew all along like he was gonna die.
So did he just know the actions of the criminal, or did he talk to the criminal beforehand and was like, "You should
Like
do
he didn't know, but like he had him in such a situation, like he was running away from the cops and wrecked. And so when the intern peeked in there, they were locking eye to eye, and like he had his gun drawn and blew him away.
Oh,
No,
okay.
not the Jake Gyllenhaal. He like peeked in there and like saw him wrestling around beforehand. He's like, "Yeah, get in there real close with a new camera."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kirk, you really need to watch it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, that sounds good. I've seen or I've heard about Nightcrawler, but I just haven't bothered to give it the time of day.
Yeah, it was really good. It was more of like an independent movie, wasn't it?
I don't know. And Jake Gyllenhaal's in an independent movie.
A lot of famous people go to independent movies.
Hmm.
All right, movie that surprised you.
Interesting.
That dick sucking scene in Hateful Eight surprised me. Didn't expect that.
Like a movie that you went into
Not
not
thinking it
expecting,
was.
yeah, not thinking not a whole lot, but then it came out and it was you're really surprised by it.
Um,
I got two that comes to my mind. Y'all go ahead though.
You can go.
okay.
No, if you got something on your mind, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. You go for it.
I want to. First thing that comes to mind is The Kingsman.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna be good. I thought it was just gonna be a generic spy movie, but it was really good. It was really funny. Really good action, really good choreography with the action scenes.
Yeah, I think The Kingsman was like a really good spin on the old spy movie like genre. Like
Definitely.
it was different, it was gritty, but it was different, and it was such a different like edge to it because I feel like it definitely had that British comedy in it,
Yeah, definitely.
and that's what definitely made it different than the past American spy movies, which had just become like a cliche.
Mm-hmm.
It's either a tie between The Kingsman or Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell.
I don't think I've seen that. Can you like recap it for me?
Oh yeah. So there's like this small like town in like the 1800s or whatever, the Cowboys and Indian era,
Mhm.
and this guy who's this uh, I think he's like a contractor or something, some type of like house builder,
Mhm.
and his wife is a nurse, like the only nurse in town, and she gets kidnapped by these Indians, but they're like savage
Mhm.
Indians. They don't have a language or anything, and they communicate with these like little wishbones in their neck that they whistle through.
Oh.
And like, yeah, at first you think it's just a regular rescue western. By the end, it turns into like a horror movie, and like a shock horror. Like they split this
Like
dude.
yeah,
Like
like a gore
yeah,
horror.
gorer, if you will. I don't want to give away the big death scene in the end, but unless you guys want to, but it's you really want to see it on your
Yeah,
own.
give it away, give it away.
You sure?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I kind of want to see it now.
Oh yeah, I was about to take off my headphones.
So we won't give it away, just so you don't have to say it right now.
Right now?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's either tie between those two. It's hard to tell. I think I want to go with Kingsman more than Bone Tomahawk, but they're both really good.
I really feel you on Kingsman. Like I didn't plan that to be good at all, and like I walked away from it really surprised.
hmm Especially when you hear Samuel L. Jackson's voice in the trailer. I thought it was gonna be annoying the whole movie, but it was actually not bad.
Yeah, I can't believe he got that booty sex. That was the best.
All right, what about you guys?
What was yours, Kurt?
Well, I kind of have two, and for different reasons. The first one, and I think pretty obvious, Straight Outta Compton. Uh, I heard it was really, really good, but I kept my expectations down. I was expecting like a solid 7 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10. But after the movie, like halfway through even, I found myself really, really enthralled with what was happening. And when it was over, I was like, yeah, I kind of get why everyone was talking about that for a while. That was a super good movie. The second one, kind of in the opposite direction. Did you guys see American Ultra?
Yes,
I
that was
I
good.
I went into that with dirt expectations. People online were just shitting on it left and right. They said it was
Really?
the worst trash to come out of 2015. So I was like, you
Crazy.
know what? I guess it is pretty bad. And I watched it, and it was actually not that bad.
I really like that. I feel like it was really smart.
A lot of people hated it.
That's weird.
I thought it like there were a couple good jokes in it. What I thought was cool is so Alex, have you heard anything about MK Ultra? Or I mean, American Ultra?
don't think so.
So essentially, it's about this dude, and I believe he was a CIA sleeper agent, and they kind of replaced all of his memories, or they gave him like false memories to cover
Mhm.
up like his training. And the movie is about this town, this entire town that the CIA quarantines so they can find and kill that guy for whatever reason. And it's essentially just him coming to terms with what he is. And he's accidentally, like, people will charge at him, and using just a hot bowl of soup, he'll kill two guys.
What?
And
Oh, okay, yeah, I think I got you now.
yeah, he's just like this unbelievable fighter, and he's like, "What's going on?" And the whole movie is like him figuring out what's going on. But what I thought was cool is the movie is related to an actual CIA project that happened in the 1960s, I believe, 50s or 60s, called MK Ultra, and the CIA was experimenting with LSD to try and figure out how to mind control people using LSD to like take over people's thoughts and program what they think. I believe they tried doing this. I think this is unconfirmed, but they tried doing this to like an arcade machine. and it would play like these LSD-like images to try and subliminally manipulate people.
Oh, that's really interesting.
It's called MK Ultra. The documents were recently released. It's super interesting.
Alright, what was the topic again in this category?
Surprises, movie surprises.
Okay, I'm gonna say Jurassic World. I stepped in. I walked in there thinking it would be something grittier and scarier than the other movies, and it was like the biggest surprise that like shit in my face. It was the kids version of Jurassic World. I guess I should have known when it was PG-13. Not to expect much, but
I wonder what the other Jurassic Park movies are rated. Were they rated R?
I had to be rated R. They were like gory.
I know the first one was like
The third one had to be R.
I think there's actually like a petition going around to maybe not get the rating system removed, but to at least change it, because a lot of movies, like a lot of superhero movies, are subpar because they go for the PG-13 rating so they can reach the widest audience. A lot of potentially good movies are getting shafted because they can't show what they want to show or say what they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I bet an R-rated... Is Suicide Squad going to be R?
No.
God damn it.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the point in going?
Well, I feel like they want to make them R, but they won't get the sales that they need to make like Best Picture or anything.
I want Suicide Squad to be like dark, gory.
I thought it was going to.
I feel like it still will be, but there just won't be any cussing in it. Any bad cussing.
I feel like you can cuss a little bit. I mean,
And you can get 2 Fs in. I think that's it.
You're allowed to say fuck, but only if it's as an insult, not as a suggestion of like sexual behavior. So you can be
say
like,
fuck you, not let's fuck.
yeah.
But how many times can you say it?
I think you can. I thought it was twice, but it might be once. For a PG-13 movie, you get at least one fuck, but it's not a sexual fuck.
Mm.
You get one fuck.
Okay, let's see. Movie rating.
That's how many I give one.
How much was that movie that like broke the record for him? I want to say it's more of a recent movie.
Oh, wasn't it Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, I think that might have been it. I'm thinking it might have been it.
Yeah, I think Wolf of Wall Street said fuck like 168 times or 268 times, something like that. Maybe like 263.
I loved, who was his accomplice in that movie? DiCaprio's?
Jonah Hill?
Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill's performance in that was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, I was agreeing with you.
We both can't love Jonah Hill, dude. He's gotta be just for one of us.
Okay, I kind of like Jonah Hill. There you go.
I like Jonah Hill.
I'm really interested to see where his acting would be if he never lost that weight and just remained the fat guy. Like, for a while.
He never quit doing those kind of movies.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what a fat Jonah Hill would look like and what he would be in. Like, going the path he was going in Accepted or Old School. No, wait, goddamn, what was it called? What was the school movie called? He had that addiction with drawing dicks and
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is that Superbad?
Superbad, that's what it's called. Yeah, like I really
He never got out of the Superbad phase.
he just stayed the fat guy.
Like, you know how Michael Cera can't drop the innocent, tag to him? Yeah, the awkward innocent like guy. Yeah. Jonah Hill finally dropped the fat dude.
That is interesting. I kind of want to know if Michael Cera like doesn't have the acting range to not act like he's always nervous, but I'd like to see what he'd be like in like a serious movie or a sad movie.
He probably is in a few. You just haven't seen them because they're not good.
I don't think
he'd be really
he overacts. I think he's just naturally awkward.
I like to think he's not casted in any movie, but he just wanders onto set like that, and those are his interactions. I feel like if he was in a horror movie, I couldn't take it seriously. Like, it'd just be him, like, stuttering and speaking lightheartedly as a serial killer somewhere.
That'd be a good movie, though. I like to see him as a villain. Just an interesting way to put it.
That'd be really funny. I might watch Scott Pilgrim versus the World soon, just because I
Yeah.
think I've only seen him once.
I like that movie.
I like him like as an actor, and I like what he's been in, but he's been in so little. Like, there's Year One, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. This is the end, but only for a little bit.
He's been in a couple more.
What's the movie where he gets the girl pregnant?
Juno.
Juno. Yeah, I think that's one of his more serious roles.
Yeah, I think that was too. Youth in Revolt. He was in fucking Youth in Revolt.
He was in all 4 seasons of Arrested Development,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
where he played the same character as he did all the other movies.
His character, Michael Cera, he's not playing anybody. He's just there.
He's just there.
That's just Michael. But did everyone answer the question?
Yeah, everyone
They
actually.
don't give him any lines. He just, top of your head, whatever you feel.
Just give us something good.
All right,
Any
yeah.
more topic or more
Yeah, Palmer, I think
categories,
one.
Palmer?
I got 3 more.
Oh Lord,
I
let's
got
do
two
just
more.
one more.
I got two more good ones. Okay, movie that underwhelmed you, that you thought was gonna be better, but you're just not gonna care for it anymore.
The Revenant.
Did you
Yeah,
watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I watched.
Actually, I watched most of it. I fell asleep halfway through.
Yeah, I watched half of it and fell asleep because we got high and then ate sugary hamburger donuts.
We had Krispy Kreme burgers. I think the sugar rush or the sugar crash is what took us, but I still like. I mean, it was pretty good, but the way people were talking about it, I thought it'd just be better. It's like Alex said, most of the movie is just him grunting and crawling. He gets fucked up, and then he miraculously survives, and then he gets fucked up again, then he miraculously survives. Like, it's sub-zero temperatures, and the Indians are looking for him, and he slides into the ocean to be thrown off a waterfall. Someone's chasing him as he's riding his horse, and he runs over a cliff and hits a bunch of trees, so he guts the horse and stays the night in there naked.
But the horse has AIDS and he gets AIDS.
There was that final fight scene where he gets really fucked up, but he doesn't quite die, and he sends the other dude downriver. There's the scene where the bear fucking just goes ham on him twice, and he pretty much just crawls away. He gets buried alive, or almost buried alive, and he finds a way to crawl out of that. Most of that movie is just him getting fucked up and running from it. He cauterizes a wound in his neck with gunpowder that he lights himself.
That was really cool, though.
That was cool, but
That was bad ass.
Alex, what about you?
I think I'd go with the Revenant too. I think we had the same experience.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I was along with that too. But I want to say Tom Hardy saved it for me. With his, I want to say mine would be Ant-Man.
That was actually my backup.
Really?
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be alright because all the other Marvel movies are pretty good, but I just didn't care for it at all.
I didn't like the inconsistencies with the physics of his.
Yeah, that really got me too.
Well, like, it's dumb as hell that he's able to run across someone's gun and punch someone and they go flying. If I punched you with a safety pin, you're not gonna go flying. It's just gonna stick in you.
Like when he gets flung out of the bathtub and he lands on the ground and he cracks the tile because he's supposed to be like the same weight as he is now.
I mean, density and weight, he can be just very, like, super dense, like lead. I mean...
Dude, he's a 200-pound ant-sized thing. There's no human alive that can support that kind of weight running across a gun while it's aimed. In one point, he stands on someone's shoulder and punches them in the cheek, and they go flying. Like, they would just collapse under his weight. He would shoot straight through them. Like, their skin wouldn't be able to hold him. He'd just fall through people.
Yeah,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I didn't recognize any of this until at the end when the original Ant-Man pulled out his little tank on his keychain, and he's been carrying it around forever. And it's like he's been carrying it around, and then it forms into like a full tank.
Yeah, like
What?
the guy that invented the Ant-Man costume, he carries around a shrunken tank on a keychain. If you shrink a tank to a keychain size, it's still gonna weigh 16 tons. Like, you won't be able to just grab it. I know there's a scene where an ant, like a literal ant, gets grown to like be the size of a big dog. And if that was true, that 0.002 gram thing wouldn't be able to stay on the Earth's surface at that size. It would literally be lifted off the ground. It would be lighter than, its density would be lighter than air, so it would be lifted away.
Whew, that movie was so underwhelming. The end got pretty trippy when he went down to like string theory.
Yeah, in the end, he like takes off this limiter on his shrink suit, and you see him shrink, and he goes through all the levels of size till he eventually he sees the atom, and he goes further. He sees quirks, and he goes further, and he goes into like the string field that holds the universe together.
Interesting.
But see, even in doing that, he would have created a black hole. There's something called a Schwarzschild radius, and it's when an object of a particular density, or the Schwarzschild radius is the size an object of a particular density needs to get before it just becomes too dense and it becomes a black hole. In that movie, he would have become a black hole. Anyway, what was the final category, Palmer?
The final category is the actor who's going to steal the Oscar away from Leo this year.
What are the choices?
Everyone.
Yeah. We got the bear from The Revenant, the horse that stayed still while Leo gutted it.
It was dead because it jumped off a fucking cliff.
No, dude, he was just a really good horse.
Really loyal up until his last horse breath.
He cut his own leg gut up for Leo. Crawling me, Leo.
We got BB-8 on the list.
Dude, yeah, I can't be BB-8.
But really, who's the people up for the award with him?
I'm
pulling it up right now. Bryan Cranston from Trumbo, Matt Damon from The Martian, Leo from The Revenant, Eddie Raymond from The Danish Girl, and Michael Fassbender from Steve Jobs.
I heard Michael Fassbender and Matt Damon both have a pretty good shot at it.
Yeah, I'd probably say either one of those two.
Yeah, I heard Matt Damon did incredibly well.
I've not seen Steve Jobs, but Matt Damon did really good. I'd probably say it's up to either of those two.
If you guys are interested, the best actor in a supporting role, we have Christian Bale from The Big Short, Tom Hardy from The Revenant, Mark Ruffalo from Spotlight, Mark Rylance from Bridge of Spies, and Sylvester Stallone in Creed. I cannot imagine that Sylvester Stallone gave an outstanding supporting role performance.
Yeah, the worst movie I've ever seen in 2015. I'm gonna take this back. The new Terminator.
Oh,
Beyond
yeah,
bad.
Terminator Genesis. I completely forgot about that.
I didn't want to see that. How was it?
It'd be like words couldn't describe how awful it was. It had Daenerys from Game of Thrones in it. Whoever plays her.
Was she topless?
No, she was not, unfortunately.
That's where they fucked up.
But it was just such a bad movie. a real ass end on the franchise. And I really didn't enjoy the franchise.
I feel like most movies they just can't survive being that long, or most franchises. I mean, like in my opinion, Jurassic Park should not be a 4-part movie.
That's gonna be
Uh,
6, dude.
oh my God, a 6-part movie.
Remember back in the day when people would say 6-part movie? Like, that was unheard of. Who has 6 sequels?
Yeah, I mean, now we got Harry Potter, Star Wars, I guess
Mockingjay.
Lord of the Rings to some extent.
Fast and Furious.
Oh my
God,
god. That's the worst one.
that is the
I
worst
like the
one.
movie,
Land
but it's
Before
really
Time.
Way to really go back to damn middle school or elementary school for that one. I didn't know The Land Before Time had 6 parts. That's
No, it has
It's
like
got
10
7,
parts.
10.
oh my God.
You sure it's 10?
How?
I feel like it's more.
There's probably more. I'd bet money there's at least 10 movies.
Well, if we're counting that, can we throw VeggieTales into the mix? I feel like that has to at least have 10 movies.
VeggieTales is a brand though. Like they have like everything. VeggieTales this, that, and the other.
14 Land Before Times.
Mm.
Oh my God. Is that like that has to be a world record, right?
I don't know.
There's probably some like off-brand movie that we're missing that no one's ever seen before.
Probably.
They have 18 adaptations.
Alright, well, that's the end of our
Going through all
Oscars.
the lists. It's definitely the better Oscars. We picked the ones that should win. Let's see if the people in the power choose them as well.
James Bond has 25 movies.
Oh, God.
Alright, we're done. We're out.
See you guys.